Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Auckland Rugby League Round 18 of the SAS Fox Memorial. My name's Troy Hardy and I'm with the Auckland Rugby League. We're live streaming today down here at the home of the Saints, and it's a massive clash today as Mangere East are up against them at home with the Marist Saints Rugby League team. Later on today, there's going to be a few interviews with Corey, who's going to catch up with a couple of the head coaches in regards to the two sides that are playing, and we're going to cut to them very shortly. We understand that Tony, the chairman of the Marist club, is at the grand finals of the juniors, and the juniors grand finals are being played at Mount Smart Stadium number 2, and you'll find the link for that on the Auckland Rugby League website, www.aucklandleague.co.nz. Now, without any further ado, we're going to throw over to Corey, and Corey's going to be interviewing one of the head coaches, and we're just going to find out who that is in a very short moment as Corey now joins us. And we're going to go to him now. Away you go.
Thank you, Troy, and we are now joined by Matt Pilmer, the coach of the Mangere Hawks. Well, Matt, there's a little bit of mathematics to be done, but the basic scenario is lose today and you're in Sharman next year. What's the stress levels like, mate?
For me, I think I've taken on all the stress at training this week. I've tried to keep the pressure off the boys, and I think the pressure sort of built up on them in the last couple of weeks, and the performances they put out there probably showed. Whereas today I've just tried to keep it a bit more relaxed and go out and play some football today and let me have all that pressure and get all the grey hairs. So,
just going to ask you, you've obviously had this hanging over you for most of the year. So at this point, do you sort of talk to the boys about it, or do you just try and get it out of the picture?
I mean, a bit of both. I mean, they know what's going on. They know what everything means and results and wise. But like I said, I've tried to take it on more of myself, but touch on it here and then. But like I said, it was just the results lately with all that pressure. I think really took it out on the team, and we trained well and played so well at trainings. We'd look like $1 million, and then when it came to the game, they just seemed to crack under the pressure. So like I said, I haven't really touched on it too much this week, to be honest. Just trying to make them think it's another game, and hopefully we might go out there and play some good football.
They come off a heavy defeat to a very sharp Northcote Tigers team. What were the main learnings out of that one, Matt?
Yes, Northcote. I think a lot of teams are lucky there's only one game left, to be honest. I think Northcote definitely playing very good football at the moment. For us, it gave me a chance. There wasn't a huge amount of benefits out of it for us, to be honest. We got done by 42 points, but I've rung a few changes today. I brought a bit more confidence into the team from the reserve grade. And, for us, sticking to our game plan was the major thing that we didn't do last week. And we're hoping we can get that today out of the players we brought into the team. So, as I said, not many positives, but at least change of players today. Hopefully we can get some good result.
You come up against the Marist Saints team today who have sprung some big results this year. What gets the job done today?
Yeah, no, it's a big thing with Marist is 2 good victories, and it's probably given them a lot of confidence. The thing is, when we play Marist, there's always a good rivalry. No matter how well either team is playing, it's normally a pretty close game. But with Marist, they've got a big set of forward packs, so we can control that middle. We actually when we beat them in the first round, our backs actually create a lot of chances, scored a lot of tries. So control that middle, control their big boys, and try and hit them on the fringes and out wide for us. That's our main thing we're going to do today.
Just finally, the health of your squad. Obviously, most teams pretty battered and bruised at this point of the season. What's the health of the squad like?
Yeah, not ideal. There's a few boys with little niggling injuries at the moment. But there's no way they're going to miss today's game. We know how a young squad, when I do get injuries, which has been a problem through the year, we haven't had a lot to replace them. A lot of the reserve boys are only 17, 18 as well. So it's not too bad. We've probably got the best possible team we can put out there and said rearing to go.
Now I'm going to present you on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League with your Steeden match ball. And Matt, all the best today.
All right, thanks a lot, Corey. Thank you.
So there we go, the head coach of the Mangere East Hawks, Matt Pilmer. We are now going to welcome in Brendan Dougie Douglas to have a quick chat with us. Brendan, thanks for joining us, head coach of the Marist Saints. A huge game for Mangere East, but a big game for you guys as well to end a season that probably hasn't quite gone how you planned, but a chance to end on a high.
Yeah, very true. We've had a bit of a disappointing season, but on the same token, we've lost a lot of our senior players, and as you know in football, when that happens, you have to build, and we've started to build some depth, and the improvement that the young boys have shown in the last 3 weeks especially has been heartening for the club.
You've had a lot of injuries this year, but some young guys that have sort of come on. Who are some of the young guys that have really impressed you through particularly the second part of the season?
Yeah, some of the young guys with good attitude that are starting to come through. You'll see him, our hooker there, number 9, Sunia. Our second rower there today, and Namia is doing quite well as well. We've got a couple of good young wingers in Sags and Christian. And yeah, they're really starting to get confident, and hopefully they have another big game today.
It's do or die for Mangere East. You know they're going to be up for it. How have you tried to prepare this week?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. 4 weeks ago we were in the bottom 4, and if results weren't, if we didn't pick our game up, we could have been, this could have been a do or die game for us as well. So preparing for this week, Mangere actually beat us in the first round, the last game of the first round. We had a depleted squad that day, but Mangere just outplayed us. And so yeah, we've been just reminding our boys of that, and that's what the second round's for, is trying to get even. We know Mangere's a lot at stake, but this is a home ground for us, so we're really just trying to finish the season on a high. We've had 2 good wins, and we want to finish it off with 3, and take that into our Silly Sunday celebrations.
And in terms of, obviously when you played Mangere East in the first round, what did you kind of learn from that in terms of how you approach this one tactically?
Yeah, tactically, Mangere's a skillful side if you give them enough ball. We really didn't show them enough respect last time we played them. We tried to play them a little bit too laterally, and they really got through on our errors and made us pay. And then once they started to get excited, they can offload the ball, and they've got all the skill in the world. So we've just got to make sure that today that we really slow them down in our defence, and then we're just a little bit more direct in our attack.
2 real club stalwarts retiring today, in Simon Idemea and Si Ali'i Tufoa. How big is that today in terms of the mindset?
Yeah, it's a huge thing for the club, especially both of those guys and what they mean to the place and what they've put in. I can only talk for the last 4 years, but they've been outstanding leaders, and they're the guys you turn to when the games are on the line. Unfortunately, Le'i got injured in round 8 in a season-ending injury. I'm not saying he's done. I was telling him he can't finish on that sort of note. But yeah, old Si as we call him, he's had a grand career. I've had to drag him out of retirement this year. His wife is telling him that's enough, and she's not being too friendly to me sometimes. But I think we all know it's time for him. So yeah, just what he brings in his leadership to the club. He coaches our under-16s, and yeah, just generally a real good leader of our club and our young boys here today as well.
On behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, we're now going to present you with your Steeden match ball, Dougie, and all the best.
Cheers, mate. Thanks, guys.
So there we go. We've now heard from both of the coaches. We're now going to welcome in Tony, the chairman of the Marist Saints Club, and Troy's going to have a quick chat.
Thanks very much, Corey, and pleasure to be here. Tony, chairman of the Marist Saints. How are you, mate?
Yeah, not too bad.
Now, mate, I've just kidnapped you from Mount Smart. You've been out the grand finals there. Tell us what's been going on.
Yep, had actually had my boys there, under 14s. We had our finals today, so that went into extra time. We were down in the first half, but we came up and won it in the end. I think by 2 they didn't get the conversion in the end, so we won that. So we're pretty happy at the moment.
How do the under 14 Marist boys celebrate a win here?
Oh, they're coming up for pizzas and that. They were bloody got me in the changing room and poured water all over me. So they're a good bunch of kids. So no, they've been good. So they're pretty happy.
Mate, in regards to the Marist club, she's a little bit blustery down here today. The ground looks firm and hard, so there's a wee bit of work done there. But tell us what happens in the club after the game down here at Marist Saints.
Yeah, so today we'll just celebrate Le'i's and Simon's, just the effort they put into the club. They've been here a long time, so over 100 games each for the club, so we just want to celebrate them. We don't actually celebrate too much, we forget about these guys a lot. So it'll be good just to get everybody down here and celebrate that, that occasion and what they've given back to the club. So, and the Facebook things looks like they'll be coming back next year anyway. So, but
hey, so in regards to it's open to the public. Anybody can come down and support.
Yeah, so anybody can come down like every club. So yeah, we'll be celebrating tonight. I got all my dads and parents coming for the 14s, and we'll celebrate tonight with the boys their last game. So it's good. We've got some food coming up, so it'll be good. Yeah, the bar will be open, everything like that. So yeah.
Awesome, mate. And look, being the chairman and your senior committee, with the way that Marist have travelled this season, what are your thoughts in regards to giving a scorecard tick box on the effort?
Yeah, huge effort from the boys. Like I said, we've had massive injuries this year, so we've got a young group this year, so that's been really really, really positive for us. I thought that was going to happen next year with a few retirements, but we came a year early, so we just got a plan early. And in regards to the club, we're pretty healthy at the moment. I've got a really good junior coaches and managers, and I've really looked after them, try to look after those guys. They're really important. Got the 15s girls, which are awesome, you know, and then the women's there too. So yeah, we're just trying to develop them. Hopefully we can get a 17s girls. So yeah, our juniors are really strong, and yeah, so it's pretty good.
So in regards to junior football here at Marist, you know, across the age group and what have you being strong, if there was a parent out there that was in the area wanting their child to come and play rugby league, you know, what grades do you have?
We've got pretty much everybody now. We've got every grade from 6s up to 15s now. Probably we might need some older kids around the 17-year age. But yeah, we're pretty strong in all those ages. You know, still got heaps of room for kids to come along and play. And it's pretty good, it's safe, and we look after everybody here. So yeah, just bring your kids down if you can.
Mate, and in regards to the Women in League, you know, you've touched on the under-15s here. I know you've got a Prem side as well, or you had one, you know, at the start of the season. So ladies, more than welcome to play here at the Marist Saints as well.
Yeah, no, the ladies been good, and the under-15 girls have been unreal, to be honest. Actually changing our prize giving this year to a social, because all the boys want to come up and see the girls, and then all the girls want to come up and see the boys. But yeah, no, the under-15 girls have been good, and we just had a few injuries with the older girls, so we just struggled there. But no, hopefully Bernard will come back with the girls next year.
Mate, and also very importantly, you know, in regards to volunteers, very important to the club. So, you know, your supporters, sponsors. Let's talk a little bit about sponsors for the Marist Saints and how you're looking, or are you looking for the next opportunity?
Yeah, been a bit slack with sponsors. We actually got no sponsors at the moment, so we struggle every year without a sponsor. Look, we're desperate to get one next year, so look, we're a good club. You know, I probably need to get out there a little bit more and help out a little bit and talk to people. But yeah, desperately looking for a sponsor to help us out and maybe do the jersey sponsor next year. So, you know, we're a good little family club here. You know, we're not little anymore, quite big. You know, we match it up with Mount Albert and all those guys in size and numbers. So, yeah, we're growing, so it'll be good.
Mate, if somebody is interested in sponsoring the Marist Saints, how do they do it, and how do they get contact with you?
Oh, yep, just you can ring up Tony, yeah, 021-230-2528, there you go. Yeah, look, I'll be out there looking around this year, and we've got some old boys that we can tap on the shoulders. But yeah, it's just getting out there in the community and the local community just to have a look. But yeah, just give the club a call, go to Auckland Rugby League website maybe, and my details are on there too under clubs.
Awesome, mate. And finally, last round of the game for the SAS Fox Memorial. What's your thoughts and views on Marist Saints? How are they going to go today?
Oh, I told the boys we need a win today. I know Mangere need a win. It's staying up in Fox, but rang up Greg during the week, told him we'll be sorting these guys out. So hopefully I can get that Roy Chang Cup back today, and then that'll end the season off well. You know, that's what we want to do. Just win it today, finish off the season good, and then start again for next year, right?
Awesome, mate. Look, I know you're busy. You've been between two stadiums today. I want to thank you very much for your time, and on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, congratulations on the season that you had, and best of luck for next year.
Yeah, thanks, Troy. Thank you very much. Thanks, Auckland Rugby League, doing a good job with live streaming, so thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, Tony. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready now to hand back to Corey and the commentary team. He's going to introduce a new guest, and we're going to get ready as the teams now will start to take shape and warm up. And so I just wander over here.
Thank you, Troy. And just as the rain starts to come down, about 15 minutes from kickoff here in the final SAS Fox Memorial Premiership round for the year, regular season, about to finish and into finals next week, which we will be streaming as well. Keep an eye on aucklandleague.co.nz. In the meantime, I'm very pleased to welcome in Aaron Drever into the commentary box for the first time. Aaron, welcome, mate. And I guess to start off, tell us a little bit about your history with the game. I know you're a big leaguey.
Yeah, thanks very much, Corey. Great to be here for the last regular round of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Yeah, I've been a keen league fan. I have to say I'm still a keen Warriors fan, although I have the faith every week, and I'm sure they'll do a fantastic job tomorrow against the Canberra Raiders. My background, of course, involved through refereeing of rugby league, and now into obviously broadcasting of different sports, motorsport mostly. And now testing my skill set here for this this game, which should be, I believe, on paper, a fairly good game.
Yeah, that's right. And obviously, huge stakes for Mangere East. They really probably need a victory to remain in the Fox Memorial Premiership. Te Atatu taking on Glenora, and the other game which is going to be important for that, there is the situation as well. If we have a draw, there's around about an 80-point differential that needs to be reversed. So that would mean Te Atatu would have to lose by roughly 80 points against Glenora, and then a draw possibly keeps Mangere East in the Fox. So that's unlikely to happen, which means it is probably win or stay or go down to the Crown of Trucks Sharman Cup for them. So rain's starting to come down a little bit here now, Aaron, which is probably going to have a bit of an effect on the style of the game, you would think.
Absolutely. Of course, the Open throw it about hot potato style rugby league, which teams that are playing for everything tend to go through, might not be the case here this afternoon. It was actually, in fact, meant to be a 20% chance of rain, but just as the broadcast started to go live, Mother Nature decided to play havoc with us. 29-kilometre winds coming from the west, so that may make goal kicking and play-by-play kicking slightly difficult here this afternoon. But as you said, you're absolutely right. A must-win game for Mangere East. They really need to come out strong. They need to show that they are here for the business end of the season and fighting perhaps for the 2018 season as well. So Marist, nothing to lose, a bit of a haphazard season, I would suggest, based on their form. They started off not too crash hot. They had a good run in the middle there, and they will be doing everything they can to try and take away competition points here this afternoon.
So just on that, we'll now quickly run you through some of the results from last weekend, round 17 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, starting with the first game of the round, which saw Mount Albert get up for a 34-22 victory over the dogged Te Atatu Roosters. So that one, a big one for Mount Albert. It takes them into third position on the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder. Glenora, holders of the Conaka Minolta Root Rooster, they had a 36-24 victory over the Richmond Bulldogs, and that result for Richmond at the time left them in a little bit of relegation danger, but all good now. The Marist Saints, who we're going to call today, got up for a huge win over the defending premiers, the Papakura Seagulls, 34 points to 12 here at Murray Halberg Park, so plenty of confidence for them heading into this one. The Point Chevalier Pirates, the reigning SAS Fox Memorial Premiership runners-up, getting up 32-16 in our live stream game last week. And Mangere East, well, they were on the receiving end of a heavy loss, 42 points to 6 to the Northcote Tigers, who have been excellent in the second half of the competition and really started to put some results together off the back of some of those players they've got out there at Northcote. Having a quick look now at the second tier, the Sharman Cup, the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup Premiership, and there was a couple of big results. Otahuhu getting up 110-12 over the poor old Ellerslie Eagles. Ellerslie, one of the front runners in that competition last year, lost a few players and really struggling right now. Bay Roskill and Otara, two of those teams really fighting in that top four. The top four now confirmed for that competition, so they will be vying for promotion. Bay Roskill getting up 36-12 at Blockhouse Bay. Mangere, another of the big results, the Southside Derby. Mangere getting up 112-0 over the Papatoetoe Panthers. Similar story for the Panthers as it is for the Ellerslie Eagles, really battling for playing numbers out there, and unfortunately on the receiving end of a heavy one in that one. And at the final result for the round, Ponsonby Ponies 62, Newland Stags 16 out at Victoria Park. In their games this weekend that will be played, Ellerslie will be taking on Bay Roskill at Ellerslie Domain. All of these games at 2:30 p.m, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are watching at home, jump on and have a look. Get out to a local game. Papatoetoe are going to be playing Ponsonby out at Kohiroa Park. Newland versus Otahuhu at Lawson Park. And another of the Southside derbies, the Mangere Marlins taking on the Otara Scorpions at Mountford Park. That one, always a good one, always a very, very physical clash in that one. Now a quick look at the other games on offer today in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, and it is, of course, the final round of the regular season. We've got the mini-mods going on behind us as the wind picks up a little bit here. So we've got Northcote taking on Mount Albert at Birkenhead War Memorial again. All of these games at 2:30 p.m. Te Atatu taking on Glenora. That one with big ramifications in terms of survival. Te Atatu, if they were to win, that one would be assured of safety in the Fox for next year in the First Division. Marist Saints, of course, taking on Mangere East here at Murray Halberg Park. Papakura versus Howick, a bit of a grudge match, that one. A number of players that have gone between those two clubs in the past couple of years. And Point Chevalier taking on the Richmond Bulldogs in a Central Auckland derby. So that is the action on around the grounds. We'll now take a quick look at the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership ladder and take a look at how things stand heading into the finals. So our top four already confirmed in this competition, so it is the Point Chevalier Pirates currently on top. Now Glenora do have a chance to claim the Rukatai Shield with a victory today if Point Chevalier were to go down. They'd also need to reverse a bit of a points difference there. Mount Albert, they jumped to third with Howick losing last week. That was Howick's third loss in a row, and the Lions now jump up to third position, 25 points. The Howick Hornets rounding out the top four, and that's where they're going to stay. They're going to stay in fourth position, 22 points. They can't go higher or drop out. So that is the top four annual finals for the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, which will begin next week. We will bring in you live streams of those games. Check aucklandleague.co.nz for those ones. The next group down, the Papakura Sea Eagles, the defending champions, sitting in 5th position. Northcote Tigers in 6th, the Marist Saints in 7th. Richmond Bulldogs sitting in 8th right now. It's been a good year for the Bulldogs, pulled off a couple of big results and I guess fallen away a little bit over the past few weeks. But no doubt plenty on the line for Richmond today up against Point Chevalier. And at the bottom, this is where the real battle is, ladies and gentlemen. The Te Aratu Roosters sitting on 7 competition points, 1 point ahead of the Mangere East Hawks. So results today will decide who remains in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership and who is relegated to the Crown Lift Trucks Sharman Cup. So not only a bit of rain out here today, Aaron, but a bit of wind as well, which you mentioned earlier is going to make the kicking games difficult. Probably a day where you look to kick along the ground a little bit more.
Yeah, you'll be certainly wanting to try and put some long trajectory kicks along the ground, perhaps turn some of those big packs around and make them work them out deep outside their own half. But I tell you what, I quite like games like this where teams have got plenty to play for. They're playing for a bit of mana. They're playing for perhaps a survival of the fittest. And I think we're going to be in for an exciting afternoon of rugby league. And obviously you spoke to the coaches. You would have picked up the feeling, the vibe from them. Not trying to put you on the spot or anything, Corey, but you know, who do you think going into this one could possibly come away with the 2 competition points?
Yeah, well, look, I guess different things at play. You certainly got the feeling from Mangere East that there's been a lot of tension there this week, and fair enough. You know, I think the last time they were in the 2nd division was 2013 from memory, so it's been a long time back in the 1st division for them. They're desperate to stay here because they know better than most that once you go down, it can be very hard to get back up. So certainly I think a little bit of anxiety at the Mangere East Hawks. They do have a pretty young team as well. Now, whether that plays into their advantage, you think young players maybe not quite as aware of kind of what's at stake, so maybe that plays into their hands a little bit. And for Marist, well, obviously nothing on the line in terms of finishing position on the table, but a big motivating factor for them, the retirements of Simon Edemir, their veteran number 6, and Siali'i Tuafoa as well. And between them, they've got over 200 games in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, over 15 years of service. Both of them retiring to, I guess, go to family duties, both of them coaching and have young kids playing in the teams as well. So that's going to be a big factor for them today. And look, I guess Marist, you know, you highlighted a little bit earlier, Aaron, they've been a little bit up and down today, but they know they're running into a storm with this Mangere East Hawks team today.
Couple of stalwarts retiring, and of course sometimes it's when everyone steps up to the plate and decides that they really want to bring their best game out because they're playing for each other. So let's an ideal conditions for rugby league as the grey dark clouds start descending here at Murray Halberg Park. It's not too far away from kickoff, I would imagine. As I said, 17 degrees Celsius. It is 29-kilometre winds coming from the west, an 86% humidity and a 20% chance of rain here this afternoon. We've had a couple of showers that might have just sneaked away as the mini mod game gets out there in fine form in the build up to this one. Watching the 2 teams down there, of course, last minute training run going on. What would be going through the minds perhaps of the coaches? What do you say to these players as they come out to motivate them?
Yeah, well, I think for Matt Pilmer, for the Mangere East Hawks, you know, he's really tried to kind of steer away from it. He said, you know, everyone's aware of what's going on. So I imagine it'll be all pretty upbeat sort of talk from them, and the same thing from the Marist Saints. Obviously, Dougie, a coach that really, I guess, portrays his emotions to his players. So, look, I think both coaches will be pretty upbeat about this one. Look, it's the last game of the year. Go out there and have a bit of fun, boys. And no doubt for Mangere East, that'll sort of be the message. A couple of real key matchups in this one, and I think the key player for the Marist Saints, Tuliafoa, Leo Pepe, the captain coming off the bench. You can't miss him. He's the biggest man on the field, and I dare say just about the biggest man in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership out there in the background of the warm-up right now. So he's going to come off the bench, obviously a bit of an unusual move with the skipper coming off the bench, but he's going to be a key one for them, particularly his runs in the middle of the park and getting to quick play the balls. And for the Mangere East Hawks, you know, a couple of forwards who have really stood up over the last couple of weeks, but the last time we called them, for me, it was Vili Tukia. Absolutely dominated through the middle of the park. Another one has a quick play the ball on him and really gets things turning. So, you know, his introduction to the game, I guess, when he's interchanged, really tends to sort of change the momentum of this one. So definitely I would think a middle battle, and Aaron, there's a few big bodies out there, so you know, you dare say that there's going to be a pretty physical game, and there's going to be one in the middle.
Absolutely, war of attrition, as we've outlined in the preamble to today's game, but a bizarre move, I would have thought, bringing the captain, who tends to usually be the motivator, the man that steers the pack around and keeps them on their toes from the bench. That's a bizarre move. if I do say so myself.
Yeah, well, I think Big Leo Pepe, when he has his first hit up, he'll bring plenty of motivation. So look, yeah, I guess just in terms of the makeup of the pack, it's obviously what works best for them. They do have a number of injuries, so they've got a number of young guys. So possibly Leo Pepe comes on and brings a bit of experience when otherwise you have a young squad on. So the siren going in the background, ladies and gentlemen, which means we are only about 5 minutes away from kickoff here in round 18 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. The final round, we can see in the background as they warm up, Jason Williams there, a player with NRL experience, helping out the Marist Saints. Of course, Marist, you know, per head, produce as much NRL talent as any team. We've got the likes of Francis Melly, who came through this club, Monty Beetham, and more recently the likes of David Fusitua playing for the New Zealand Warriors, and Toimoala Lola here. Mason Lino as well, of course, who's been thrust into the big seat in the number 7 for them. Mason's in for a big game tomorrow. You know, we were talking a little bit off here earlier, Aaron, about the Warriors' chances, mate. Do you give them a shot against the Canberra Raiders tomorrow?
Well, of course, you've got to give them a shot. They're our team, and people say, oh, you don't really still support the Warriors. Support them whether they win, lose or draw, but it's going to be a tall order for the Warriors tomorrow to get up against the Canberra Raiders. Of course, Canberra fighting to make sure they entrench themselves inside that top 8, and there's been some massive upsets already. You know, Newcastle Knights really giving a thumping to Parramatta, and now an opportunity for them to perhaps avoid that wooden spoon.
Yeah, absolutely. So all eyes on the Warriors tomorrow, and certainly have felt the mood change a little over the last couple of weeks there, and you do feel a little bit of sympathy for Coach Stephen Kearney. I know a lot of people give him a bit of stick for talking about the process and that sort of thing, but the thing is, he genuinely believes in it, and that's his philosophy. And look, you know, he was given a squad which obviously he hasn't been able to shape, so it's going to be interesting to see what Kearney does over the next couple of years, and hopefully people sort of judge him more on that rather than what's happening this year. But I guess also pays to keep it in perspective. The Warriors aren't last on the ladder.
No.
And there's plenty of teams doing it tough right now.
Absolutely, and some teams with some very big name and big noted players, and of course plenty of talk about off-season signings and coach movements between the Titans and Melbourne, and Bellamy, is he staying, is he going? There's plenty of rumour and trajectory around, so NRL aside, this afternoon's match is going to be oh so important for these two clubs.
So we are now going to take you through the two team lists for today's teams, and we will bring them up onto your screen and have a look. There are a couple of changes from that which is advertised. And starting with the Mangere Marist Saints, the home side at the back is Simon Lua Falialo, the veteran number 1. On the wings, Sarnelli Palamo and Dwayne Toko. The centres, Natoa Hukatai and Christian Ulukita. And Christian made the KiwiLeagueCentral.com Team of the Week last week. Had an excellent game for the Saints in their big win last week. In the halves, the retiring veteran Simon Edemir, and he is joined by Pika Savilio. Up front in the engine room, Valentino Lua Falialo and Fernando Ikaroma, and at number 9, Sonia Akaola. The back row is Alamoti Finau, Nimia Ilua, and locking the scrum, Taniela Tangitau. On the bench, Lawrence Chanfun McFall joins Tony Tupunio, Afi Akaola, and number 22, the big fellow, we mentioned him earlier, you can't miss him, Toliafoa Leo Pepe, the captain, will come off the bench wearing the number 22, has worn that for the last couple of years. I think it's the only shirt that fits the big fella, so look forward to his impact as well. Now moving to the away team, the Burger King Mangere East Hawks. At the back, the number 1, Setutu. The wings are Sione Toipilotu and Junior Malo. In the centres, Morgan Sali Isi and Louis Lau Hing Oa. Now, sorry, actually, Louis is going to play on the wing and Junior Marlowe in the centres, so a bit of a change there. In the halves, Howard Brown joins Pariti Machu, coming across from Bay Roscoe, his first year at the Hawks, playing some good footy in the halves. A really talented halves pairing there who love to run the footy, so watch for that. Up in the engine room, the front row, Jacob Tamoa joins Vili Tukia, and Atane V is the hooker. The back row, Vinny Chan, Fiel Lavamai, and Jonathan Pakito is the 13. And on the bench for the Mangere East Hawks, Junior 4, Reginald Samuelu, Tiri, and David Fa'atiti rounds it out. So those are your two teams for today's SAS Fox Memorial Premiership as the hooter goes in the background. Now just seconds away from kickoff, the Marist Saints packing down into their pre-match talk, a little prayer before the break, and the Mangere East Hawks making their way over the back. So plenty at stake, as we've highlighted, ladies and gentlemen. It is pretty much win or go to the second division for the Mangere East Hawks. Te Atatu playing Glenora over in West Auckland today.
That's going to be a cracker game, isn't it?
It's going to be a huge game. And look, obviously, Glenora holding the Conaka Minolta Root Rooster as well. So they're having a great year. It's going to be a huge ask for Te Atatu to get up in that one.
Absolutely. No, I think there's going to be certainly the good old West Auckland local derby always seems to go down really well. So looking forward to seeing how that one unfolds this afternoon.
So our man in the middle today, Shane Ream, one of the best referees in Auckland, has won the Auckland Rugby League Referee of the Year a couple of times. A really experienced whistleblower, one of our finest, of course, probably capable of refereeing in those NRL ranks if he wanted to, but I think Shane pretty happy with life in Auckland. Saw him having an impromptu game of footy with the kids after the game last week. He was our referee for last week's live stream game between the Howick Hornets and Point Chevalier Pirates as well. So not far from kickoff now. Leo Pepe coming out to do the shake.
He's a monster of a unit, isn't he? Look at him,
Yeah,
towering over everybody.
Yeah, huge man, and you know, one of those forwards that really I think is probably universally feared in the competition. There's a couple of them, the likes of Tony Tuia, but yeah, that number 22 really become, I guess, synonymous with Murray Halberg Park as well. So we see a guard of honour, if we can get our cameraman to cut to that, over by the in goal there, and it is a guard of honour for the two retiring legends, Simon Edemir and Si'iali Tufua. So well done, boys. Congratulations on fantastic careers. We can see them being clapped on there. The mini mods as well, Simon leading them out. Of course, Si'iali suffered a bad injury in the first round, broke his ankle against the Papakura Eagles, so he won't be taking the field today, unfortunately. But he did hint this week that maybe retirement doesn't necessarily mean retirement for him. He's open to a return next week, and we all know how that one goes.
Absolutely. So here we go. We're getting ready to set the scene for this one. Plenty at stake here at Murray Halberg Park for the SAS Fox Premiership. Do or die game for the Burger King Mangere East Hawks. They really need to get one up if they're going to survive.
And as we wait for kickoff, a big thank you to our principal sponsors, SAS Apparel, also sponsors of the College Rugby League competition, which we will be bringing you the grand final of on Wednesday, live and free, Mount Smart Stadium, bringing you 3 games in a row. So do join us from, I think it's about 3:30 on Wednesday. All the details on aucklandleague.co.nz, and a big thank you to our sponsors, and of course the Auckland Rugby League, for bringing you these games all year. And it has been a fantastic year in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership, a pretty close competition, and the good thing is it's been just as exciting towards the bottom of the comp as it has been the top, which hasn't always been the case in previous years. So it has been a great year, and it's only going to get better with finals coming up, Aaron.
Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. That's going to be a cracker of a game on Wednesday. So Mangere East will receive the ball. They'll be running from right to left on your screens. Shane Ream just making sure they're all going to stay nice and tight behind the kicker. And then it's going to be game on for this one. Very important game. A couple of big stalwarts from Marist bidding farewell. And of course, Mangere East will be holding on by grim death to keep themselves in order. Just waiting for the proverbial kicking tee. That always is a delay of these games.
It happens more often than you'd think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
The kicking tee gone missing in action. Plenty of mini mods down here, I'm sure we'll run and grab one for the boys.
So the rain seems to have just died away at the moment, but still that breeze seems to be out there, and I said that may have a effect on how things unfold here this afternoon.
So a real delay in the kicking tee, which looks like we do have one on the sideline as well, but maybe the kicker wants a special kicking tee. Now the boys are switched on. There it is. So that will speed things up, and we will be underway in a minute here. The mini mods sitting to our right down here, they're going to be playing at halftime as well, playing up against the Mangere East Hawks in the mini mods. And of course, we do have the Roy Chan Memorial Trophy on the line in this one as well, the traditional trophy played for between these two teams. So another factor in this one to go with what is already going to be a pretty emotional day for these two.
So Savilo will kick us underway. And it's game on here at Murray Halberg Park. Mangere East desperately needing to hold on to whatever they can. And they take the ball now 31 metres out from their own line. Good solid start by the big fellas there. Open it up nicely now to Salalisi. He takes the tackle, 35 metres out from their own line on the attack, Mangere East. One out stuff now. Oh, Tukia just takes it down. 3 in the tackle. They bring him down. Again, they go to the open side.
Yeah, making a statement early there. Big Vili Tukia. Good first carry from him. We mentioned he has been excellent for them this year. Picked up their Man of the Match award on a number of occasions. As we get to the kick now, V floats a little one over the top, which looks like it's going to roll out. So
yes.
A pretty good start there for the Mangere East Hawks, Aaron. A pretty settled start.
I would have thought so. They grabbed it inside inside their own 20. They ran it up. They got it down there now. That's caused Marist their chance to work outside. Right down on the danger zone, the red zone as we like to call it. 20 metres out on the eastern side of the ground. I thought it was a relatively good start by Mangere East, actually. They looked composed. They didn't look panicked. They just took it up nicely, and now we'll see if they can turn their defence into attack.
Yeah, and look, at always the thing with Mangere East when you've got a young team is obviously game management is so important. So that's a really positive start for Matt Pilmer, getting to the kick and V putting a nice little kick down and finding touch. They won't mind that at all. You take the back five out of the game as well. So back underway now. Marist feeding it out, 20 off their line.
Elukitia takes the ball now, and of course they pass it out through. This will be a good chance for Marist to gain some heavy metres. 3 in the tackle there by the Mangere East Hawks. Good defence. Ream calling them to get back on side. Oh, solid runs up towards the 30. Here he goes, the big fella. Look at him go.
Yeah, and he must have been a late inclusion in the starting side, a bit of a late swap, because we did have Leo Pepe named to come off the bench, so obviously a late change, although he's limping away. So early drama for the Marist Saints as the captain limps out of the tackle.
That's absolutely right. Just 5 tackles gone now. Ream puts his hand in the air, and again, they'll go to the short side. And he's a little kick over the top by Salvavilo. And he regathers the kick, does the number 5, Torko. He puts the kick in again, but straight into the hands of Mangere East, the winger. And he passes a Hail Mary pass. And they're throwing it around a bit like a hot potato, 20 metres out. That was not a bad passage of play, Corey.
Yeah, good to see Marist obviously prepared to chance the arm a little bit early on there. A nice little dink over the top, and they just caught Mangere East a little bit short out here on this left edge. Spacing just a little bit off for the visitors here as Vili Tukia takes it forward now. So a pretty solid start for both of these teams as we enter the 3rd set of the game.
Barnstorming run by Tukia. He is just over the 40-metre mark. Again, they shifted to the open side, and they're running it through nicely. Good opportunity now. They keep the ball on. Marlowe again, throwing it around inside the Saints territory. The Burger King Hawks on the attack. 4 tackles gone, still a couple up their sleeve. They throw it back to the open side. And again, more solid running this time by Samuel Lilo. 5 tackles gone. What are they going to do? Are they going to go to the air? No, they're going to run it on the last. Quick hands now. They've got an overlap. 2 on 1 if they can spin it out. Salisi, no. He's tackled on the last. Loses the ball. No advantage. Wow. They caught them napping.
Yeah, breakdown on that occasion obviously didn't quite go off, but nice work from the halves, Machu and Howard Brown out here on this left edge. Brown summed play up nicely, and they put Salisi into the gap, and from there obviously the error coming up. So a little bit of a sign of things to come, I dare say. That quick shift out towards the left, just catching the sliding defence a little bit off there for the Saints.
Sun starts to peer out here at Murray Halberg Park. It's a nice little dart from dummy half. Oh, the tackle just crept up a little high. Play on the call is from Ream as the Saints go marching through on this one. Oh! Well, it was going to be a big hit, but they were inside the 10, the first penalty of the game. And this will be a good opportunity for Marist as they take the tap. Thought they might have gone for touch, but they take the tap.
Yeah, interesting decision there. Obviously keen to get things going, keep a good rate of play and try and run this Mangere East team ragged. So things back underway here.
Oh, Luafalileo. Again, another big run by the big fella inside the Hawks territory now. Quick dart from dummy half, trying to catch the markers napping. Gets for 15 metres out now. And they are 33 metres out from Mangare's line. Marist on the attack. The big fella, 16. Iluli. They're going to go again to the open side. Tell you what, Idamira is certainly directing play there, isn't he?
Yeah, plenty of touches early on. Of course, the veteran playing his last game in the SS Fox Memorial Premiership. He's been around a long time. Won a Fox in 2006 with the Mount Albert Lions.
Play it down at the back for the Saints, but play on's a call. Little nice kick over the top here. They regather, and it looks like they're going to try and go in. They throw the ball out the back, but it's picked up by Mangere, who then knock it on. And the call is a double knock on by Ream, and it will be a handover. So a chance goes begging for the Saints. Danger signs.
Yeah, and again, down that right edge there, they obviously see a matchup that they like. Almost found some success there again, did the Marist Saints on that time. Natoa Hukatai, who of course played with the Junior Warriors, so has played at those higher levels, and on that occasion almost made them pay out there on the edge. So Mangere East now with all the work to do, trying to work it off their line, but good work from the Hawks to survive that set, back-to-back sets after giving away the penalty.
Oh, big tackle and lifted in the air, and that will result in a penalty. The big fella, Lavimai, got back slammed, and Reem just wants to have a bit of a chat, probably just to settle things down, maybe just execute a bit of calm. But I tell you what, you'd have to suggest, Corey, that both teams have had a couple of opportunities gone begging. Mangere East down here, and then, of course, Marist at the other end.
Yeah, that's right. Both teams spending a bit of time in attacking territory. You'd have to say so far Marist have probably looked a little more threatening in terms of their set plays, although Mangere East have managed to break a couple of times, as we see the Hawks now kick for touch. So they're going to get a good opportunity here. They're going to start the set about 35 metres off their line and a good chance to go into good ball.
So here we go now after the penalty. They'll throw the ball up, and the big fella again, Tukia, he just runs it forward like a freight train. He's 40 metres out from his own line on the attack. They go to the short side. They get a bit of a jimmy, a bit of a step inside the Marist territory now. Mangere East on the attack. Good run from Lavimai. What a great run. Two in the tackle. They slam him down on his back. And again, to Ripoloto at hard dummy half. They throw it through Matui. He's good. And again, Tamua just takes it for this young pack from the Hawks. Playing for survival. Early stages, I know. Cut out ball. Oh, great pass. Look at this.
Footwork.
Oh, in one side, out the other. Puts the... Oh, no. Chance gone begging again.
And what about Howard Brown put on? I think it was about 3 different side steps here as we see the ball still floating around. I think it's a Mangere East knock on, but Howie Brown did all the hard work there and then passed infield, and it was Tui Pilotu who puts it down with no one around him. See if we can bring up the instant replay there. We might be able to catch what went wrong there, but Howard Brown, lovely footwork and a sign of things to come. We highlighted pre-match. Both halves love to run for the Mangere East Hawks, and we're not quite going to catch that one, it looks like, there as we see Marist after they regather the ball. So we'll cut back to the live action with the Marist Saints to pack down a scrum about 10 metres off their line.
10 metres off their line, centre of the field though. It's 0-0 the score in this final round of the SAS Cup, and a good run. Good solid run there from Tangi Tau. He takes it for dummy half running from Hukatia. And again, the big fella now passes it through to Ilu Kita. And just short of half wide. Good metres made by the Saints as they're just running from dummy half. They're catching them napping. Play on's the call. They keep it alive. Second phase pay now for the Saints. And it is Lua Falio who plays the ball back. Again, now the winger coming in to do a bit of relief work. That's Torko. And he is now centre of the field, 30 metres out from the Hawks line. Beautiful sidestep from Finau. And he's just still going, the big fella. He gets past one, passes it to another one, and he's tackled now. 10 metres out, last tackle, the Hawks on the attack.
Room on the right edge.
Oh, beautiful stuff. What's he going to do? He holds it up. No, he's going to be caught. And again, another handover.
Yeah, it looked like they probably had the numbers advantage there, Aaron, but not able to execute it on that occasion. But you can see the outside back starting to come into the middle of the park, do a bit of work, and it's working for them because they're being able to turn this Mangere East Hawks pack around. Sorry
about that, Corey. I thought they caught them napping. Mangere East, they just shot down the short side there. I tell you what, it's going from end to end, this one. As the Hawks now, their turn to play ball. Just outside the red zone. Centre of the field, they're going to go to the open side, and they do so. Again, they do a bit of a dance, and that's Malalo. He passes the ball. No, he doesn't. He keeps going. I thought he was. Now he sets his winger away. He's firing off down the short side there. And he keeps it alive. Play on's the call. Again, Mangere East on the attack. They got options here. The big fella, he's running all the way through. Samuel Leo, tackled down. Oh, Marist are at 6s and 7s. What are they doing? Defence is in tatters as they go to the open side through the number 12. And Lavimai, the captain, just settles it down nicely.
Great recovery, Marist on defence there, slid across quickly.
Again, they go to the halfback and Matui. He then sets someone else up. It's the big fella, Tukia, centre of the ground. Last tackle, they got options. Need not panic. Do the Hawks. Oh, beautiful cutout ball. Got past one, dances in the corner. Is he going to go over? And he does so. That is a brilliant try for Loa Hinga Oa. He scores the opening try. Wow.
Wow, so a bit of second phase we saw there from the Mangere East Hawks to go over in the corner, and we will just await the number there. I thought it was the number 5, my apologies. I think we've had a bit of a change on the wing, so we just wait for confirmation, but you can see the shift out towards the corner there, and it's nicely summed up by Marlo. We just wait for confirmation of who's actually scored here. And it's the number 1, it's Setu 2, who's gone over out wide. So Aaron, all built off the second phase there. They managed to get rolling and probably comes a little bit against the run of play. It's sort of been all Marist the last couple of minutes.
Well, I think what you find is that Mangere has turned their defence into attack. There's no two ways about that. And that's a great way to start. Of course, playing for survival for the Mangere East Hawks.
And just as I look to my right, we can see a couple of famous faces in the crowd. Ray Hafferden, of course. Anyone who's followed New Zealand Rugby League over the years will know of Ray, a veteran administrator for the New Zealand Rugby League. So great to see Ray down here enjoying some local footy as well. We do have grand finals going on elsewhere in the country today as well, with the Canterbury grand final on of the Maseti Cup. And that one being played between the Hornby Panthers and the Linwood Kias. So
you're just a wealth of information, aren't you, Corey? You're like the encyclopedia of rugby league.
I don't know anything else, so I've got a lot of room in there, Aaron. So
he strikes it in, and flags go up. So a perfect start for the Burger King Hawks. They lead early stages, 6 points to 0, and a must-win game. What a great kick from the sideline there.
Yeah, excellent. And I think Mangere East, it's exactly the start they would want. They've survived a little bit of pressure on their own line and then have gone down the other end and scored. So exactly what they would want. Confidence is going to be nice and high here. We can see a couple of the Marist players just talking to Shane Ream up there on halfway, perhaps unhappy about something in the lead up to that try. There was a couple of sort of offloads off quick play the ball, so maybe a couple of complaints about that. But for the Hawks, they won't be worried. A great start for them, and they lead this one 6-0 here at Murray Halberg Park, round 18 of the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership.
Play will get restarted again, and away we go. So, ball will bounce, and picked up, talk about Furchard to fame, and Tukia will take the ball forward, and he is tackled 21 metres out from his own line, centre of the ground here at Murray Halberg. They lead by 6 points to 0. Oh, big run by Tamua. And there's 3 of them in there holding him down to try and wrestle him to the ground. Just outside the 40 they are. And again, another solid start. Just what the Hawks needed, Corey, after that try. Get it down there. 5 tackles, kick it away.
Yeah, that's right. They were looking to get to the kick here, and I dare say probably put this one into touch as V gets the ball swung out the back. Looks like Lua Falialo is going to be up to it on this occasion, though.
Yep, just didn't quite go where it needs to be. And, of course, now Marist will be trying to turn defence into attack, and they run it through. And, of course, it is Hukataya who gets past one, fends past another. Now at the centre of the ground and is tackled 35 metres out from his own line. Sloppy play the ball. Play-on's the call from Shane Ream as we get to the halfway mark now.
And again, those outside backs starting to come in, look for work for the Marist Saints. It's been excellent for them. And as we say that, again, the winger there with another carry, Dwayne Toko, a late call up into the squad. Now Machu comes out of dummy half, gets the quick play of the ball and looking for a little bit of second phase.
Marist certainly turning the Hawks around at the moment. Tackle 4 now. They're still on 30 metres out from the Hawks line. They go to the short side through the big fella 16, Ilui. And look, he gets past one. He just fends them off like a fly, mate. Then throws a Hail Mary ball out the back. Play-on's the call. And then now the tackle is taken. They are last tackle now. Marist on the attack. The Saints, what are they going to do? They go to their half. He will pop up a nice little up and over kick. And it's going to find touch. Savilolo, he put the ball over the top. Didn't quite find the mark. But I tell you what, some enterprising play from Marist.
And they like their chances through Hukatai down at this right edge again. They visit there on that occasion. The execution just a little bit off. But again, we saw second phase play really contribute to that one. It was a lovely carry from Ilu out wide, who just destroyed people for fun out there on the left. And they swung it out to the right.
Wasn't he? He just went straight through them. So important set of 6 now for Mangere East. Of course, 15 minutes just about gone, circa of the game so far. And this SAS Fox Memorial Premiership round, so they will be wanting to capitalise now. The big fella rings it up forward now. Tamoa takes 3 of them with him. Just gets a good quick play the ball required. Again goes to the open side. Not bad. Not bad game at all starting to develop here at Murray Halberg Park this afternoon. Oh, solid tackle. The Chang got a real big how's your father. Now again, Mangere East turning their attack on. They put the switch down and a good run from Salalisi. He regathers the ball. He passes it back to the end zone to Motu. He keeps it on. Oh, beautiful pass out the back. And he's held onto the ball. It's the last tackle. Miraculous play by the Hawks. Again, Matui puts the kick in. And, oh.
Nicely cleaned up by Lua Falialo, but again, quick footy being played by the Mangere East Hawks off the back of winning that middle of the park. And just as I look up, Aaron, there has been a bit of a positional readjustment. It looks like Sione Toi-Pelotu has dropped back to fullback, which means Setu Tu is going to play on the wing. So a bit of a change there from the team which was advertised.
Palamo will play the ball, peeling for a penalty from Reem. I thought there was a goose step back in the return of that kick, but we'll see how it unfolds. And again, more one-out stuff from Marist. They sort of just getting into dummy half, Corey, and then just trying to grab some meters. Marcus Word square play on's the call as Hukataya just takes the ball inside the Hawks' territory. Peeling again. Great defence from Mangere East. They've done an outstanding job, and they find touch, does the Saints, and probably what both sides needed just to settle things down, get their composure and get their rhythm back.
Yeah, clever kick there from Idemir, just puts it into touch. He knows his team are blowing pretty hard. They've had to do a fair bit of high-intensity defence with obviously some of the line breaks that have happened over the last few minutes. So good game management there from the number 6, and they'll force Mangere East to work it off their 10.
Exciting afternoon of football developing here in this must-win game for Mangere East at Murray Halberg Park, part of the SAS Fox Premiership. They lead the Marist Saints by 6 points to 0, and they now are attacking outside their own goal line. Here's a beautiful run down the outside. He climbs on the speed. He's over the 50, the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, and they're going to score again. So Lisi scores the try. And all of a sudden, it's 10 points to 0, kick to come. The Hawks, beautiful stuff. He just got the pass. He stood him up.
What was going on with the numbering up in defence there? There was a massive gap. I'm not too sure what's happened there. Probably a little bit of a miscommunication there somewhere along the way. But then obviously once Sa'alisi got into the gap, no one was catching him. He had some wheels on him. We saw Lua Falialo arrive late. But what a try there for the Mangere East Hawks, completely against the run again. But great work from the Hawks. Boy, they're playing some good footy today.
They're playing outstanding football. He just showed a real clean pair of eels, and the Saints just let him go through the gap. It was a yawning gap, and he's just clapped on the speed. And now an important kick, and a very important kick, dare I say it, to try and take this advantage out to a 12-0 lead.
So Howie Brown making the most of his allocated time for the kick. I dare say there'll be a couple of Mangere East boys blowing hard as well. It has been a really frantic start to this game. We haven't seen too many errors, not too many stoppages. I think only the one penalty from memory. So it has certainly been a high-intensity start to this game. So Brown to attempt the conversion, which would double the lead. Significantly easier one than the earlier kick up against the sideline.
So Brown's got 1 from 1 this afternoon, this time from the other side of the field. We mentioned the breeze died down a bit. And looking forward to take this out to a 12-0 lead. That's right, folks, you heard it, 12-0. If he can get the kick, he shaves it to the right-hand side of the upright. Probably the commentator's curse on there, dare I say it. And 10 points to 0. Mangere East are leading the Saints in this final round of the SAS Premiership. Now, Corey, when we sat down here earlier on and said, what do you think is going to happen? Did you ever believe it was going to be a 10-0 lead to Mangere East this early on?
Yeah, well, look, it's certainly surprising, and I think especially given the way the game's gone, it's been pretty close to the game. They've traded blows, but Mangere East have just taken advantage of the opportunities they have got, and Marist, probably the execution has been just a little bit off for them. But by that same token, I don't think there's any disaster for the Saints here. I think they're playing pretty good footy, and it's just a matter of them getting a couple of opportunities, and I'm sure they'll be able to hit back. So the Saints get us back underway.
And again, Mangere East through the number 12 of Lavimai, the captain. He just takes the tackle 30 metres out. They lead by 10 points to 0. Oh, another good one. Chan again. He just belts himself up there 35 metres out from his own line. Again, they go to the open side, and another good strong run. Just trying to get themselves inside that position. Appealing for a penalty from Reem. Not Cummings, he says, Reem. Oh, slight bobble on the ball there. And Pakiito will play it inside Saints territory. Couple of tackles still up their sleeve. Chan again, may cut him out, and this time they go to Brown. And Brown parts it back up the inside again.
Lovely work there from Howie Brown again. Sailisi now takes it infield, but Brown just the footwork, presence of mind to get the off foot away. Real talented footballer, a natural kind of footballer.
V again just puts a beautiful kick. That'll bring rain. In fact, it'll bring that much rain. It goes dead on the full. So the breeze just takes it out. And it will be Marist opportunity to attack. It's been a little while since they've had the ball. So they certainly will be trying to make the most of it. I recommend probably good set of 6, kick it to touch, try and just take composure of the game.
Yeah, that's right. Try and get back into the arm wrestle, and they're not out of the arm wrestle by any stretch of the imagination. I know it's 10-0 on the scoreboard, but probably doesn't reflect the close nature of this game so far. So there'll be no panic stations for the Saints, although of concern, we can see Leo Pepe over there on the bench with it looks like a bit of ice on the leg, so potentially the captain will not return today, such a pivotal member of their forward pack.
Lua Falilo with a big run gets him over the halfway line, now inside the Hawks territory. Again, they keep themselves moving well with Ulu Kieta, and he throws the ball out. It's an intercept, but gone out, so the call will be forward pass is what I'm thinking they're suggesting. And no, they're saying it's gone out by Mangere, so this is going to be a golden opportunity. Golden opportunity now, of course, for the Saints to perhaps get then something on the scoreboard. What's happening around the grounds?
Yeah, so we've just got an update. Currently, Te Aratu versus the Glenora Bears. It is 0-0 out there at Jack Colvin Park, so that is the big one in terms of this one. So at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, the Mangere East Hawks are remaining in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. We will bring you updates from throughout the day from that game as we get back underway here at Murray Halberg Park.
The Saints go marching in through the number 10. He just pulls the ball back, so this is a good opportunity for Savalo. Again, he tries to direct play, sends it back to the centre, and it's Fidel who's taken the ball. That 10 metres out, and a precarious tackle, I would have thought. There's 4 or 5 of them in to try and hold him back. Akola, a dummy half, just flicks a quick ball out the back. 10 metres out, options either side. Savilo, a dummy half, passes out back to Edimira, and again to 16, Ilulu.
Boy, he's causing some trouble out there. Is Ilu. Excellent carry there. You can see.
But Ginger to his feet, I would have thought. Is Savilalo passes out wide again. They've got numbers. They're going backwards. The Saints are not really making many metres in saying that. Finau just smacks a few of them out of the way. Last tackle. Now 10 metres out. They go to the open side. And Amira puts the kick right across. They've got numbers here. Oh, beautiful defence. Tap back, play on, try. Oh, that was a brilliant driver. Ilu Kita and Shane Ream will point to the spot.
And you can see there comes off the error, Aaron. There was a ball batted back. Play on was the call. And we have a look here on our instant replay, which is going to catch the try. So we'll look to go a little bit back there and just see the setup. But it was, I think, Setu 2 who went up for it. So we can
beautiful
see
play, wasn't it, really?
It was. And look at a good kick from Edemir. Just floated it just in behind here, just high enough to allow his chasers to get onto it. You can see 2 here in the headgear. Goes up for it, I think ends up knocking it forward. Both players go up, and it's actually knocked back off Marist, and then from there, picked up by Ulukita, who isn't going to be stopped from there despite the best efforts of Mangere East. So the Marist Saints hit back.
Now, very, very good try by Marist, and of course, Savilo going to try and add the extras to take this back to a 4-point ball game. Here he goes, he strikes it. And he waved away, so the score remains Mangere East leading Marist 10 points to 4, 24 gone here at Murray Halberg Park. And we have a game on our hands.
And a little update from across town in West Auckland. The Te Aratu Roosters have taken a 6-0 lead in that one against the Glenora Bears. So we will bring you updates throughout the day on that one. Of course, that is the big game really outside of this one today in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership with relegation on the line.
Howard Brown to get us back underway. And away we go. So, Marist to bring it up with a big run. What a good run that was.
Good luck stopping that.
Yeah. Eco Romai and a penalty. That's what they wanted. So now, pressure on the Hawks. Just holding on too long. Ream wasn't happy with that one. And that breeze really showing that you can't get it too high. Just blows it back. So
You sort of come in little waves, isn't it? The breeze, little short gusts, which obviously is going to play its part in this one. Not really sure who it favours at this stage. It's kind of all over the place a little bit, the wind. The Marist Saints on the ball now, taking it out.
absolutely. Tangi Tile just takes it to the halfway line. 3 in the defence there from the Hawks, trying to hold him back now. Again, they go to the open side. The big fella, number 10, Ika Ramaya. He's been wonderful this afternoon. He just keeps going and going like the ever-ready battery man. Akalo tried to milk the penalty from dummy half. Not forthcoming from Ream. Play on's the call. Again, Lafalaloa, centre of the field.
He's been good in the early exchanges. Has Big Valentino. A number of telling carries now as his brother goes into dummy half. Scoops it out to Edamir, who goes up high. It's going to be a contested one by the look. Well taken at the back by Setu too.
Yeah, no, very good, very good. Very good take by the Hawks. So it's going from end to end at the moment. 10 points to 4. Mangere East leading the Saints. Great run across field there by the number 4, Malalo. Just trying to hold him back there.
Ikaroma there with good contact in over the top. Both of the middles probably going to be expected to play bigger minutes now with Leo Pepe looking like he possibly won't return in this one.
Yeah,
so certainly going to be a test for the Marist boys.
That's a bad sign for the Marist, isn't it, with losing him so early on. Kick it to open space now, so Marist being turned around, but a great return from Leo Faleo. Oh, back slammed and a real how's your father tackle by the Hawks.
Lavi Mai there, leaving nothing to the imagination with the kick chase. A good effort from the big fella. Got through plenty of work on his edge so far in this one as well. So we can see, and just a sloppy penalty there. That's disappointing for the Hawks because they've done really well. It was a good kick chase and their line speed really on point on that occasion, but let them off the hook with a sloppy penalty.
Yeah, that's the type of penalties that can turn games around. Good momentum. Let's see how this one unfolds. It's gone backwards. In fact, he's lost a metre. So they'll be 30 metres out on the attack. The swirling breeze here at Murray Halberg Park. With Marist now going to try and run themselves through. Hukatia now. He takes the tackle. 41 metres out from his own line. Again, they pass it through to Lufaleo. Oh, just like a battering ram, isn't he?
Paquito gives them a little rub on the head as well, and they exchange a couple of hellos afterwards, and away we go.
Tangatau now inside the Mangere East territory. Again, they go to this very narrow corridor, and it is Finau who takes the tackle. 4 tackles gone. Not much meters made, I would have thought. Savilo goes through Edamir. Then goes out to Lafualalilo. Lukita. They love the second phase football, don't they? They just like to keep the ball going. Hot potato stuff. Last tackle now, 30 metres out. Edamir with a bit of a reverse banana kick, but beautifully taken by the Hawks.
Need to be a little bit careful here to Marist, a staggered line. They recover in time, take him down, and now getting back to it. So both teams looking like they're showing the signs that it's been a pretty fast game so far. A couple of tired bodies out there. As we see the headgear come off and someone throws the headgear back into the defensive line for the Saints.
The pace has been a scorcher for this early part of the game. There's no two ways about that one. Matui just running into dummy half, just trying to speed the process of the game up for himself. Tui Paulotu, and a penalty, hand on the ball. Hand on the ball.
Needs to be a little bit careful there. Howie Brown throwing the ball
Absolutely.
afterwards.
Here
And we go. A couple of words between the boys.
Ream says, tell your story walking, and just trying to execute a bit of calm.
There was really no need for that Howie Brown launching the ball at his opponent there after he'd already got the penalty. But, of course, the emotion in this one always going to play a part.
10 minutes till half-time. And again, Ream just going to have a bit of a chat with the culprit. I certainly want to be arguing with him, would you?
That's right. Yeah, no, I'd say poor old Shane there with a tough job telling Big Elu off, but boy, he's been good down that left edge today. Really been tackled first time. You know, he's certainly always kind of broken that first one and then required a couple of guys to bring him down. Howie Brown now getting a bit of a talking to, but Brown's been excellent as well. His work taking the ball to the line. He's got that real unique kind of, I guess, powerful lower body where he can put the step on and break that initial tackle.
So Brown will get play restarted, going to try and kick for touch. So let's see if the breeze is an impact. Not bad either. So 6 metres inside the Marist line. This is going to be a good start now. Mangere East, good opportunity to capitalise. Such a young-looking team as well when you talk about the youth compared to what we've seen.
That's right, and you look through the team list, there's a lot of 18s, there's a lot of 21s, a very, very young team. They lost almost their entire squad last year to different clubs. Quite a few went over to Australia. Of course, Raymond Talamale, their best player over the last few years, the Auckland Rugby League Player of the Year in 2014. Lost him. He was kind of, I guess, their cultural leader and certainly their on-field leader. So they've had to rebuild, have the Mangere East Hawks, and they've done really well. And they find themselves in this situation, of course, just about a half a football away from securing promotion in the SAS. Fox Memorial Premiership, if some other things can go their way, but right now the Te Atatu Roosters have taken the lead at Glenora, which further complicates the picture.
It does indeed. You need an abacus to work it out. Fareti is out onto the paddock now, and he picks the ball away to Chan again, who's been outstanding this afternoon. It's a couple of good runs from Chan. Again they go. Out, oh, beautiful pass. What a pass it was, the big fella. And he threw the ball away. He in turn loses the ball, but it's a double knock on. I tell you what though, there was a yawning gap opened up. The big fella, he threw it out the back. And Marist will have the scrum 18 metres out from their own line.
A little bit of rain starting to come down here at Murray Halberg Park again as we get into the final exchanges in this first half.
It's been a great game.
It has, yeah, and look, you kind of look at the ladder and you think, two of the teams, I guess, closer to the bottom of the ladder, but that hasn't been reflected. They've completed really well. Pretty good discipline across the board, and look, it's been open footy considering the conditions as well.
Oh, big tackle goes begging there for Mangere East, the number 12. We're racing in there to try and put the big hit on him, but it all failed miserably. As Hukatia brings it outside the 30 now for the Saints. They trail by 10 points to 4. Again, Lafalio's on there. Chanfu McFall is on the field now, just at acting half. Passes the ball out to Elu. I don't know if I'd really want to be messing with him. Now he's had it stolen.
And some little mind games starting to go on here as well, little personal battles, and I think that time actually Elu gets the penalty simply off probably winding his opponent up a little bit there, so that's starting to come into it as well, so watch out for those little mind games, important both teams keep their head now as the rain does start to come down here at Murray Halberg Park.
Tell you what, game of chess developing, that's what's happening now. Ulukita takes the tap and it gets passes straight on to Ika Ramaya, and he will take the ball. They are 20 metres out from the Hawks line. They trail by 6. Player down in the background. Play on's the call at the moment as Lufalio centres it up 15 metres away. Options to the left. They go to Tangi Tau. He straightens play up. They're only metres away. The Saints go marching in. Again. Chanfu McFall gets the pass out the way to the culprit and crime. He's a big one hand out the back. Oh, unbelievable. Again, they go rushing up in defence and leave a door open. Oh, high shot.
Machu caught high.
It was a high shot. Oh, dear. Savila Leo. Used to call that the old Carlaw coat hanger, didn't they, back in the days?
Yeah, that's right. And I think it was Pariti Machu who's come out of the line and caught him high there. We'll have to wait for confirmation on that one. But, yeah, wore the brunt of it there, did Savilio. Looks like they're going to tap and go.
Yep. Chanfu McFall will tap the ball and he throws it to Ika Ramaya. And again, the guy just runs it forward. 4 or 5 of them in there. Trying to hold him back. Options now to the number 13 who did barnstorming run for him. Tangi Tau, centre of the ground by driving him back, the Hawks. So great defence from Mangere East. They lead by 6 points. The Saints go to the open side. Edamira back on the inside to Luafalio. Ball goes out the back and they've lost it. But a penalty from Ream. for tackled without the ball.
They got lucky there, did Marist, because that was a sloppy one there that didn't go to plan, but they get the repeat set.
The 4th set of 6 now in a row. Surely they're going to go through the Saints. They've been down here for half an hour. You'll be able to charge them rent. It'll be a premium at that. Chanfu McFall again. Oh, no. It was knocked on. And we're going up for a scrum.
Brendan Douglas on the sideline won't be happy with that one. They had repeat sets down there in attacking territory, but just let that one slip. So I guess the positive for the Marist Saints, they're not having trouble getting down there. They've spent a fair bit of time in attacking territory, but on that occasion, some bad ball control, and they let Mangere East off the hook.
4 sets of 6 in a row. Wasn't able to capitalise. You would have thought they would have, but never mind. We'll see what happens this time by as the scrum is fed. And Mangere East, oh, beautiful stuff. Pass ball out the back to Lahunga Oa, and he's got past 3 of them. And he's tackled now just outside his 10-metre mark. Big opportunity for Marist to man up in defence. They certainly need to, as Mangere East are running sideways. No obstruction, the crowd appealing for one here. As we wind down the clock towards half-time. Lavimai, the captain, just steadies the ship just outside the 20-metre mark. Big barnstorming run now. 33 metres out from their own line. Mangere East appealing for a penalty. Tukia does, and a kick is thrown down to try and split the winger and fullback, and cleverly taken by Lua Falilo. Not a bad set of 6, Mangere East. You know, they had 4 sets in a row, and they did quite well to get out of their own half.
Yeah, that's right, and that's what you want after you've done a whole lot of defence, is just finish your set and make the other team go, you know, 80 or 90 metres, and they achieved it. So, no, good set there for Mangere East. You can see fatigue now starting to come into this one a little bit. Both teams will be happy to get to half-time, but in the meantime...
Oh, beautiful stuff. Savilo at the middle. He had an opportunity, but he just couldn't quite connect it. So, Marist now, hot on the attack. Minutes out from half-time.
Heavy set out towards the left here, and they'll look to get the ball there quickly, you would think. And in fact, Ekaruma's going to take the settler.
Yeah, just settles it down the middle. You said it oh so well, didn't you? Chanfu McFarlane just gets the ball out wide to Itamira. And he takes the tackle. Unusual for him. Last tackle now.
Nothing out towards the right at all. They don't even have a winger at this stage, the Marist Saints.
Oh, second phase play. They're going to try and keep it alive, Corey, but they might turn something into nothing into something, and they do so. Ilukita, Christian Ilukita scores the try, a second try of the afternoon.
And it's just individual brilliance, which we're going to see on our replay here. You can see he gets the ball. There's nothing on Aaron. He gets it, puts a little step on, back infield. Pakiito misses a tackle. And then from there, Ulukita puts the fend on and dives under. Excellent try there for Ulukita. And he's going to give his team the opportunity to go into halftime tied at 10 points all. Currently 10 points to 8. Kick to come. And the Marist Saints are back.
They're certainly back, all right. 10-0's become 10 points to 8. And we've got a change in kicker. So it's Chanfun McFarlane. Lawrence going to do the kicking duties to tie this ball game up.
Yeah, and Chanfun McFall, another of the late inclusions in this one. Luisio initially slated, but spent some time with the Warriors this week and was required in their under-20s team. Of course, like a number of the clubs in Auckland, they kind of juggle having players in that under-20s set up as well, and obviously respecting the coach's wishes there in terms of game time. So no Luisio today for the Marist Saints. Certainly Chanfun McFall made a real impact since he's come onto the game, and he's now going to attempt this conversion, which would draw his side level heading into halftime. And to be fair, it's probably the kind of game that deserves to be tied at halftime, Aaron. Both teams trading blows, very close, and just a real gritty kind of battle so far.
You're certainly right. So he lines up the kick. He's 20 out on the western side of the ground. Chanfun McFarlane trying to tie the ball game up. I think that my accent, my pronunciation might not be quite correct. I'm getting it taken down. Here he goes. He does the kick. Flags in the air, and it's 10 apiece. So we're all even Stevens as the halftime siren sounds. Getting some raspberries from the crowd in there. They give me a bit of a hard time, but never mind. An entertaining game of rugby league. Mangere's jumped out to a 10-0 lead in the Saints. Well, they came marching back. It is 10 apiece in this SAS Premiership here for the Fox Memorial.
And so we are now going to cut to our Auckland Rugby League halftime update to have a look at what's been going on around the grounds in the Auckland Rugby League. So we will see you back here in about 5 minutes. We'll catch, I think, a little bit of the mini-mod action before we get into the final 40 minutes of the regular season of the 2017 SAS Fox Memorial Premiership. Mangere East and Marist currently locked at 10 points all. We'll now go to the halftime update. We'll see you in a few minutes to resume the action.
Welcome to ARL TV. We've got a lot happening this weekend, including our junior grand finals this Saturday at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. You can grab all the details to that on our website at www.aucklandleague.co.nz. And remember, we are live streaming all 5 games on the day, so make sure you check out the link on our Facebook or website and you can watch the games from there. We've got our live league game at Murray Harbour Park with the Marist Saints taking on the Mangere East Hawks. Remember to like, share and follow the link there to watch the game live. The SAS College Rugby League Grand Finals are being played next Wednesday at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. We've got 3 games being played, with the big one between Carlton Boys and St Paul's, kicking off at 7 PM. And if you can't make it down, make sure you're live streaming the game online at our Auckland League website. We've got some great news from Steeden. Steeden is the official ball of the Auckland Rugby League, and we're going to hear now from Jamie.
G'day, I'm Jamie from Steeden Rugby League, and we have been the official ball supplier for Auckland Rugby League going back to 2011. And basically delighted to announce that we'll also be carrying on for 2018. We'll be supplying the balls for Fox, Sharman, Women in League, as well as all the junior development as well. We are really excited to do this. Troy's negotiated a hell of a deal for both Auckland Rugby League and Steeden, so it's going to be a great partnership going forward. And looking forward to finals for this year and another great season for 2018.
How many competitions you're involved with, between here and Australia?
Yes, I can. You've probably put me on the spot a little bit. Outside of Auckland Rugby League, we're obviously official ball supplier for New Zealand Rugby League. We have deals throughout the country with Wellington and Canterbury as well. Across in Australia, obviously synonymous with the NRL, and we also have separate deals with New South Wales Rugby League and Queensland Rugby League, and also, before I forget, Country Rugby League as well.
Well,
so basically any major rugby league competition in Australasia will be using Steeden.
in regards to Steeden's quality and technical, I know they do a lot of research and development. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I can actually. So we've been working for a while on a new match ball. So for as long as I remember, we've had the Symmetry, which is what's used in the Fox. Going forward for next season in the NRL, they will have a new ball, which has been worked on for the last 3 or 4 years. Because our head office is based in Melbourne, we do a lot of work with the Melbourne Storm, so a lot of the info we get from the likes of Cameron Smith, Cooper Cronk is pretty valuable for us going forward. So yeah, keep an eye out for new footy for next year.
And it would be fair to say that the Fox Memorial players will be playing with the new Steeden football.
Yeah, potentially not next year, but going forward for 2019, that would be definitely an option going forward. So yeah, basically that will be the ball going forward.
Awesome. So we've just committed to 2019 sponsorship with the ARL. Great work. In regards to buying the product, where would we go to source a Steeden football, if you're a rugby league fan?
So for clubs, they can come directly to me through steeden.co.nz. Otherwise, for individuals wanting to buy like training footies, NRL balls, you can go to playersports.co.nz. My name is Jamie from Steeden Rugby League, and you've been watching ARL TV, and good luck for the rest of the season.
We've got more football being played this Sunday at Jack Shelley Field in Mangere. Make sure you come on down and check it out. We've also got the under 15s and 17s girls grand final being played that morning. And the top 4 teams in the Crown of Sharman Cup Premiership have been secured, and whether you're playing finals footy or it's your last round this weekend, just remember to be a sport, just support and get around to your local club and enjoy the footy.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to today's SAS Fox Memorial Premiership Clash. We're at half-time here with Mangere East and Marist locked at 10 points all. And what is a huge game for the survival hopes of the Mangere East Hawks. As it stands, the Hawks are playing second division next year. Te Atatū up 6-4 at half-time out at Glenora. We now have the mini-mods game going on here. You can see the kids, they had a little run around pre-match and now getting involved here at half-time. So we are about 5 minutes away from resuming action here at Murray Halberg Park. And joined in commentary by Aaron Drever. Aaron, thoughts on the first half? A pretty close game and certainly pretty tough in the middle.
Well, it was. In fact, it was everything we said it was going to be. They went end for end at early stages. A couple of big blows exchanged up the middle. Some of those front rowers with some barnstorming runs. Mangere East got out to a 10-0 lead, and we thought, well, this could be a good opportunity for them to put their sand in the mark. But then, of course, Marist, to their credit, came back. I thought Marist perhaps had slightly more possession, more opportunity to score. They blew a fair few opportunities, but came back with a fantastic try in the end. And standout players, of course, well, really they're all sort of standing out. I think Brown's doing a good job, though, certainly for Mangere. He certainly is steering them around, touching the ball all the time, which is sort of setting the scene for this one. More importantly, though, of course, is what's happening over at Jack Colvin Oval. 6 points to 4. Another surprise upset could be on the cards here, so who would know?
Plenty of interest in that one here from some of the Mangere East fans as well here at half-time. But yeah, Te Atatū currently with the big upset and pushing for that one. Of course, if Te Atatū were to win that one, they would remain in the SAS Fox Memorial Premiership next year, regardless of what happens here. They hold a 1-point advantage on the ladder right now. 7 points up against Mangere East on 6. Te Atatū had a draw against Northcote in the first round, which may well come back to be the thing that keeps them in the first division. But 40 minutes to go here, and anything can happen.
And usually does.
That's right. It is rugby league after all, and there's nothing like the Fox Memorial Premiership. The best show on grass, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a pleasure to be bringing it to you today as the mini-mods go on now. The most important grade in Auckland Rugby League, of course, the mini-mods, where it all starts for the kids, and we can see a couple of parents involved there helping out, and the Marist Saints in particular, a real credit to this club. They do mini mods better than most. They make a real effort to lift the kids up. It's a real family environment down here, and certainly some of their mini mod teams and some of the things they do, really cool. So a big shout out to all of the volunteers involved here at the Marist Saints Rugby League Club.
Great club, actually. Great club. Real friendly operation. From the moment you drive into the car park, everyone's got a smile on their face, and certainly make you feel very welcoming indeed. Going into the last 40 minutes, we know that obviously 10-all, we're back to where we started from. If you were Mangere East or you were Marist, what would you be suggesting, knowing what you've seen now?
Yeah, look, it's kind of hard to, if they both stay in the arm wrestle, it's hard to tell who's kind of got the advantage in this one so far. But I think for Mangere East, they've got to keep playing that kind of off-the-cuff footy. Plenty of offloads, plenty of second phase, because that's been what's working for them. And for the Marist Saints, get the outside backs involved, because we've seen the likes of Dwayne Toko, Christian Olakita, who scored a lovely try in the first half. They've been really influential when they've come in looking for work as well. So, you know, it's like, as I say, it's really hard to kind of get a feel on who's going to win this one, but I think the most important thing is that you remain in the arm wrestle, and then from there, well, you keep yourself in the contest, don't you?
Shane Reams had a great game today as well. He's allowed the play to continue. It's been flowing from end to end. A few penalties there, calming the situation down. We had a couple of exciting moments there where a few players decided they wanted to get excited, but all in all, a good day from the referee, Shane Ream, and probably set himself up to be there come finals football time, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's right. And of course, if you are interested in joining the Auckland Rugby League's Referees Association, all the info on aucklandleague.co.nz, there's a referees tab there. Always looking for more referees, and it's a fantastic way to remain involved in the game if you can no longer play or you're not interested in coaching. And I understand the referees have a pretty good social life as well, with plenty of barbecues and drinks. And of course, Aaron, you'd know yourself as a former referee. It's plenty of fun times. Yeah,
great organisation, and a lot of the ex-referees that have gone on to do international football, like Dave Paquito and Neville Keisha, and those guys like to get involved, and they keep the Tuesday night meetings rather interesting there. Don't know about the fitness test. That beep test I was never a fan of the beep test, I'll have to be honest with you. But apart from that, everything else seems to be home and dry. I reckon it's going to be an absolute cracker of a second half. I think we're going to find that this could come down to the wire. Results, of course, across town and Te Atatū is also going to be interesting as well. But I've got a funny feeling that the Burger King Hawks, in my opinion, might just have the advantage going to this one. That's dare I say it, that's what I'm thinking.
You're braver than me. I dare not